Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alemannic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is healing from having other people twist things around on us and feeling bothered by it, right? Um, People might still twist things around and misunderstand it or um, change things to make it their own, but in a way that maybe it doesn't resonate with us or twist things out of context, anything along those lines. And I'll go a little bit more into it in a moment. But basically, no longer letting that affect us, even if they still do it, we realize that's their journey and we're letting it go. Even if it's something that we created and that is dear to us, close to our heart, or we feel that it's important that it doesn't get misused or misunderstood. However, everyone is entitled to perceive things the way that they experience the world and learn from that, right? Anyhow, so we're going to work on that. But before I go too much into that, I want to quickly talk a little bit about the follow-up from the last ceremony where we healed from the relationship stuff. And I just checked the title and I already forgot again exactly. But anyhow, letting go of some of that toxicity that came from fear from relationships. I forgot the exact wording, but it was, I think I posted it 2 or 3 days ago. Okay, so first of all, the way the candle burned down, you can see there is a golden shield all around. So we're completely safe, shielded, and protected at all times. We don't have to worry. We're not going to be unsafe, right? So we have protection all around us. And I'm actually going to use this for this ceremony as protection. And I'm going to put a different candle in there, but I just wanted to show you this first. So from the last ceremony, what I can see here in the wax is the head of a woman with the hair back here and her body. And the feminine is usually represents the receptive mode, right? So we're ready to receive and we're safe, right? So in other words, we're ready to receive safe love now, or we're ready to perceive it as safe, right? So that feels very important. So I really wanted to make sure that I share this with you. Now, for this ceremony, I'm putting the candle in here because we're still working with that divine protection that is all around us that shall help us further in healing from being bothered by having things taken out of context, twisted, or just having the meaning of something changed and so on, right? So, for example, I've done a few ceremonies where things kind of went a bit sideways, and that was part of my hesitation moving forward in being cautious on how many ceremonies I offer, in what format, and so on. So I'm going to share a little backstory with you. That was about, I think, 2 years ago or so. I did a fire ceremony with someone who was going through a lot, whose family was, according to him, horribly attacking him, right? And they were very narcissistic. So we did the fire ceremony, and since he had misrepresented his knowledge of shamanism, I gave him a lot more free rein to, speak the words and put things in the fire. And what he ended up doing was instead of banishing the dark spirits, the dark entities, the demons, the devil that possessed his relatives, he actually tried to unalive his relatives directly with black magic. And I did it as good as I could during the ceremony, and then afterwards I did damage control and undid the rest. But it took me a while to fully and completely neutralize the damage that he had caused. And at the same time, so I felt responsible for anything and anyone in my ceremony, because if I lead the ceremony, if I host them, I feel responsible. However, everyone is responsible for their own healing, and that also includes, for example, taking the teachings and the guidance and everything that I not only receive but then also pass on. And if people take it differently and make it their own, I've noticed a few times, even if it's something very harmless, it still kind of bugs me, because on my journey, I've learned that when I didn't follow the spirit guidance that I received as closely as I could, then sometimes things didn't turn out so well. And afterwards, I received the feedback from my spirit team that, yeah, I was supposed to do it a certain way and I didn't. So, then I had to, again, do damage control. So that's the place I'm coming from. I also had another person use a reversal crank. And when you're trying to reverse damage, you have to move it backwards, like the reverse direction to reverse the damage. And then suddenly she started changing the direction and moved it forward. And she said that she suddenly felt that the other direction was needed. And the thing is, the entire ceremony was meant to reverse damage in her lineage. So she was then reversing the reversal of the damage. So basically, she was redoing it, right? And there too, it's like I did damage control and I cut ties and all of that. But I didn't feel comfortable having what I was guided to do abused and misused, right? So basically, sorry, I'm trying to find the right words here. So basically, when, let's say, when I do a video, for example, and I usually encourage people to improvise if they don't have the perfect thing, and generally that is okay, right? But sometimes when I received guidance to something very specific, for example, scraping something out, or that something needs to have a certain color and whatever, right? I understand when the perfect thing isn't available to substitute it in the best possible way. And usually that's done with really good intentions and the people want to heal. But I still kind of take that personal a little bit, because I worry that the healing doesn't have the desired outcome if it isn't done the right way in which I was guided, right? So, anyway, to make a long story short, many of you also have things that are dear to your heart, where maybe you put yourself and some of your creations out there, and then it might be misperceived or twist, like the meaning twisted around or anything along those lines, where um, you take it personal, kind of, right? But again, on the flip side, everyone has the right to interpret things in their way, and that's their journey, that's their healing journey. And it is out of our hands what people do with it. Um, Obviously within reason, right? I mean, you wouldn't want people to start committing crimes based on feeling in quote unquote in air quotes inspired by something that we put out there, right? But um yeah, I'm talking about like normal regular stuff. Okay, with that being said, let me light the candle, and we're doing this healing with pretzels, mini pretzels, so that we can digest, like by eating the pretzels, we can digest the things that were twisted away from the original meaning, and that we allow that to leave our system, and we no longer associate with that, and people can interpret things however they want. That is their business, no longer ours. And if they're going to suffer the consequences of extremely bad karma or whatever it is, that again is their journey, not ours. Um, Something had just popped into my head and I left again. Sorry, it's late. So, but anyhow, I think it's all clear. So let's get started. Let's. Oh, hold on. Let me light this first. Oh yes, that's what it was. In one of his videos, Wayne Dyer talked about how some people, now I don't remember the exact words, but the message was that some people um, really, really want to misunderstand and misinterpret what someone is saying, for example, right? I forgot his exact wording, but it's like more or less they're on a mission to misunderstand things, right? So there's also that. And again, that is their journey and where they're at. And it no longer has anything to do with us, right? Okay. With that being said, please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it into pure divine essence and return it to the universe for reintegration, and help us fully and completely reconnect to our own inner divinity as well as that all around us. And through that, help us be in oneness with all of creation. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And something else just popped into my head as well. So for the past few days, the work app has been doing weird stuff. When I picked up some of the orders, it was giving me the message that it looks like I picked up the wrong order, even though it was the correct one. And it kept doing that. And I remember thinking, so there's definitely still this energy around that makes us want to doubt ourselves, even though we're perfectly doing the right thing or in the right, whatever the exact situation is in your case. But the energy wrongly tries to sow doubt with incorrect and false information that they're feeding us, trying to basically keep us down, keep us doubting ourselves so that we don't rise and ascend into the light, right? Or fully into the light. Many of us are sort of partially there, but not fully yet, right? So that feels like it also has to be a part of this. Thank you. So basically, when we stop doubting ourselves and we know we put the right thing out there and we said the right thing and so on, it doesn't matter what any of those dark ones are trying to make us believe. We know that we're right and we did the right thing and we said the right thing, right? So It's part of those tests from the universe, really, working through the dark, but it's basically from the universe testing us to make sure that we stand strong within ourselves. Thank you. All right, with that being said, let's call in our divine team. Dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, our entire divine spirit team of the light, including our ancestors that are in the light, the 4 directions, and the 4 elements, please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. So I want to take a moment, as always, to express our gratitude for some of the blessings we have in our lives. And in my case, I want to give thanks for the additional guidance I got now to this current step. I feel this is one of the important steps, that we let go of how we're perceived and we don't take it personal anymore, because whatever we let in emotionally is what can cause us this dark interference, energetically speaking, right? So it can bring in things breaking, malfunctioning, bad luck, things just not really going well for us. It can bring in lack consciousness and all that kind of stuff, right? So even though we might have been doing better before, but if we allow those kind of doubts in again, if we allow whatever naysayers were saying to reach us again, then we're going to stay down. We're not going to be able to ascend, right? So with that being said, thank you for this guidance to this really, really important step of disconnecting from how we're perceived and knowing that we are divinely loved and protected no matter what, and that we're divine beings. And if anyone around us or in contact with us or in connection to us somehow is fully disconnected from their own inner divinity, then that shall no longer affect us in any way, shape, or form, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they try to create, possibly through schemes or sending flying monkeys and all of that. I hope most of you know this term, when a narcissist sends other innocent people to do the dirty work for them, basically, by giving them only partial information, or not actually information, but by telling them certain things that make those people want to, quote unquote, help us, but it's actually doing the opposite, right? But a lot of times they are not aware of what they're actually doing. So with that being said, bless the pretzels. And again, if any of you have pretzels as well, or twists would be another good one, then let us eat those together if you have them. And by eating and digesting them and eventually excreting them out of our body, all those nasty energies of trying to twist things around, trying to make us doubt ourselves, basically gaslighting us and just undermining our divinity through their darkness. Let all of that be done and finished. And I feel like I need to break these first. that all that black magic that they're basically sending us, or dark magic, I should say, shall now and forever be broken. And by dark magic, I mean any ill intentions that people send us can basically be considered dark magic, right? So all of that shall now and forever be broken and removed from our energy field, and we shall now heal from all of that, and we shall heal from the need to feel accepted or even perceived in a certain way. The way the world sees us does not matter. What matters is that we're authentic and true to ourselves. And so it is all my relations. All right, I'll be munching away a little bit here, so it's going to be a bit noisy. My apologies. And I realized I have the water over there, so I'm going to have to quickly go and grab it. So in the meantime, I encourage you to do the same. Munch a little bit on your pretzels or other twists that you might have. Mm. Mm. And I promise you, I will finish eating all of those after the ceremony, but I think I put a little bit too much in there to eat all of that during the ceremony. However, I will finish them tonight because it's important to have all of that done, to have the healing completed. Okay, so just a word of caution for all of you too, that usually whatever you start in there should be finished, right? Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 Okay, I ate a good part of it. The rest I'll finish after. But I feel like we need to bring a little bit of that Chester energy in here. So like the lighthearted, silly energies, right, that I always associate with this kind of rattle that reminds me of Carnival back home, which is similar to Halloween here in North America, right? So just people in costumes, and a lot of the traditional costumes have these kind of bells, often around the ankles, similar to this that I put around the little doll here. But yeah, they usually have them around the ankles with these kind of bells. So when they jump, it makes a lot of noise, right? And when they have their carnival parades, it's just so much fun, right? So So what I'm getting here too is just reconnecting more with our inner child, with the person we used to be when we were a child, and just letting go of all the rigidness, all the uptightness that we took on as adults, and to just let it go. Just don't worry about how anyone perceives you. We are who we are, and we are divine. So we're perfect in our imperfection, and that is the divinity. We are all an expression of divinity in individualized form, and we're perfect just the way we are, and we make mistakes, and that's okay, and we just keep going, and we learn from them, or we make them again until we finally learn from them, hopefully. And that's just how it goes. And as we heal, we don't make the same mistakes anymore eventually, right? But we got to be kind with ourselves and forgive ourselves for all the mistakes that we have made. And by learning to love ourselves more and more and more, we can also be kinder and gentler with everyone else around us. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Whew, we're letting go of perfectionism, of trying to be perfect, to be perceived as perfect, as the image and the mask that so many people try to project out into the world of who they wish to be, right? So we're just letting that go, and we're just going to be real. We're just going to be ourselves. And so it is. Ooh, all my relations. All right, let us take a deep breath in, breathing in that pure divine love. And let us exhale any and all tension and fear of not being accepted. Let us breathe in love and exhale insecurities. And let us all hug ourselves. So wrap your arms around you as good as you can and give yourself a hug, as we've all learned to do during the pandemic, right? So, and if you want, you can tap yourself on the shoulder. You can stroke your arms a little bit. Anything to give you the feeling of you did well, you're good enough, you're more than enough, and you're perfect just the way you are. Whew. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. All right, let us give massive amounts of love, thanks, gratitude to our divine team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please accept our deepest, deepest gratitude for all your assistance in this healing. And please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly and massively safe, shielded, and protected at all times with a massive divine shield of protection, as also represented by the golden shield all around our light candle, right? The candle that holds our light, where we're the pillar of light. All right, and so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, and let us be surrounded by this massive divine seal of protection. And so it is, all my relations, all our relations. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel further, there's a PayPal link down below. Also, on the 13th of August, there's a local fire ceremony coming up. And on the 23rd of August, a virtual one. All the information is in the description box below. Well, actually, the links to where you get all the detailed information. And that would be on the Alemannic Shaman Facebook page, as well as on meetup.com under the group name Shamanic Fire Ceremonies. It would be amazing to see some of you there. And if not, we'll reconnect through one of the future videos. In the meantime, I'm sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. May truth and integrity always be with you. Bye for now.